Hello world, 80s music twin ranked here, and we're going back even further.
50s?
60s. I don't know, did they start in the 50s?
Maybe.
They might have. But we're going to the Beach Boys, obviously, because Brian Wilson died. Been almost a month now.
Yeah.
We didn't do it right away, but you know what? Everybody else got all their stuff out of the way, so now we can focus just on the top 10, right? Now, let's go over a few things. Let's start with the good stuff. And that is the amount of TV shows we can connect them to.
Well, yeah,
not many.
Couple, anyways.
Alright, so I just showed you a clip of the
Three's Company. It's probably one of the most memorable Three's Company clips.
Yeah, and I thought they actually played songs, but they didn't.
Yeah.
He just says fun, fun, fun.
Yeah.
In the sing
It's
song.
when he gets like.
He's got a tranquilizer.
He's sort of intoxicated a little bit.
Well, he had a tranquillizer.
And he had some drinks.
He starts, dancing after some lady gives him a drink. She's claimed he was non-alcoholic.
It's a pretty good clip.
Yes. Also, we know a song from the pilot episode of The Greatest American Hero.
Right. Is it from the pilot?
It is from the pilot. I looked it up, and
I thought it had to do with maybe this is the pilot, the one where they were in the school bus.
Yes.
Was that the?
And I think they were on that trip when they found the.
And Rhonda is one of the characters' names, and the Michael Paré. Is that his name?
Paré, yeah.
Paré from Streets of Fire.
Oh, he was in other things, but yeah.
But he was one of the characters, and he probably liked Rhonda. He said, "Help me, Rhonda."
There were 3 girls in there. There was a black girl.
Okay.
And then there was the brunette with the long hair. Anyways, it was a small class.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Today, classes aren't that small.
Yeah, and the most memorable thing about that show is that, if you didn't know this, in the first season, he was Mr. Hinckley, and then they changed it to Mr. Hanley because of the shooter, the attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan. Yeah.
Yes. All right, let's see. What else? Okay, actually, did you know how popular they are now?
Are they really popular?
Well, because of Trump.
Okay.
Trump bombing Iran.
Okay.
And it happened before, back in the Iran hostage crisis.
I didn't know this.
People made they did a parody song from Barbara Ann to bomb Iran.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Okay.
It's popular. Actually, just when he did it a few weeks ago.
Okay.
So
because I was just going to ask you, when is the last time you've heard a Beach Boys song on the radio?
Actually, you know what?
It depends on the station, I suppose.
What's funny is, I hear "Wouldn't It Be Nice" all the time, once a week.
But you don't hear it on 97.5.
No.
You don't hear
that's not
the rock and roll.
101.7 in our area.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, that is their most downloaded Spotify song.
Not Kokomo, I'm surprised.
No. Yes.
Oh,
Did you actually know Kokomo is one of the most critically hated songs?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, I read into it. People hate that because they thought it was just schmaltzy pop.
Oh. Here's the thing about their old stuff, at least the 10 or 11 that we know that are big hits, they all sound like, in my opinion.
To some extent, yes.
It comes on, you're like, which one is this?
Right.
Not sure until it gets in there.
By the way, we're not done with the TV shows.
Okay.
I don't know if they appeared on Full House. I think they were on Full House.
Okay.
John Stamos from Full House. In the Kokomo video, he plays the steel drums.
Okay.
And there was a documentary about the Beach Boys. John Stamos directed it.
Okay. And Kokomo was on Cocktail, the movie Cocktail.
Yes.
With Tom Cruise.
Brian Wilson wasn't on it. He was not invited because of some manager of Brian Wilson.
Okay,
wouldn't
yeah,
let him be
yeah.
on it unless he also was involved and they wouldn't let him.
Yeah.
And of course, they were on Baywatch once because that's a show where you're on the beach.
Yeah. What's funny is that, they're named the Beach Boys.
Yes.
They didn't name themselves. They were named that by the label.
Well, they were trying to be the surfers.
They wanted to have to do with surfers and surfing music, and people were even calling posers. Do they even know how to surf? Well, at least one of them did.
Yes.
And And obviously they were from the California coast, and they had California girls. But Kokomo, that's like what, Florida? Because they don't say the Florida Keys in that one of the verses.
Yes,
So.
it's not a real place, but it is. It is somewhere.
But
real,
he
it's not
does
real.
say Key Largo, Montana, and so those
Yes.
are probably real places.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
I have another one.
Okay, go on.
Okay. Besides Cocktail, they did the title song to the movie Problem Child.
Yes, yeah, I saw that
Guess
too.
who that stars in that?
Yeah, Jack Tripper.
John Ritter.
Jack Tripper.
and hey, let's connect them to Paul Simon, who we just did.
Okay.
You know what? Wouldn't it be nice? Was also on the Shampoo soundtrack,
Okay.
just like a Simon and Garfunkel.
Here's how I'm gonna connect him two ways with
Okay.
Paul Simon. Kokomo. Kodachrome. Songs.
Really that-
single songs with a K.
No.
How many K songs do you know? Come on. No, okay, so they have. Now I'm gonna forget what it was. So we did Paul Simon, and he had "Still Crazy" after all these years. That was the song in an album, right?
Okay.
And Beach Boys had a song that was covered by David Lee Roth, who had a song called "Going Crazy." So connected that way. Very thin.
Now it is. I would consider this funny that the remakes of Beach Boys songs I consider better.
Yeah, yeah.
David,
I don't. You know what?
David Lee Roth being better, I think.
But if anybody does remake Kokomo, I don't think they'll do it.
No.
That's probably the only. But that was made in the '80s, so that's why.
And I tried to look it up, but I couldn't find it. I'd like to know this. Is the 22-year gap between number one singles the biggest?
Yeah.
Because they had Good Vibrations in 66, and then Kokomo was their next number one in 88.
Yeah.
That's a long gap
That
between
would
number
kind of.
ones.
Well, that's. I was gonna say that kind of connects with Paul Simon.
Yeah.
Because he had. You Can Call Me Out. When was his last?
That was
previous-
not a number
Not
one
that
hit,
long
though. But it
before.
never hit number one.
Oh, but no, but I'm not saying that. I'm
Yeah.
just saying between
Well,
like comeback things.
there are some interesting. We should do a comeback list eventually because I already went through it and there's a bunch.
Are we putting Aerosmith and Heart on there like that?
I would not. Heart's gap, believe it or not, was only 5 years
Yeah.
because one of their 1980 hits did make the top 10. Now it's not considered a big hit, but it was in the top 10 in that year, so that means that year sucked. All right, now we did say Wilson Phillips. Was obviously Wilson is the three Wilsons. By the way, out of the 5 Beach Boys,
Three brothers.
all 3 Wilsons are dead.
Yeah.
Only 2 alive are Al
And there
Jardine
was
and Mike Love.
and there was one, the one guy that drowned.
Yes,
He was probably the first one to die.
Dennis
He's-
in 1983
Yeah.
because he threw over his stuff out of the boat.
And he was mad. He threw something overboard, and then he jumped in to go get it. and died.
Yeah. Oops. And then Carl died next from lung disease or
Yeah.
something like that. All right.
Well, the last thing, I don't know if this is going to be one more thing. Marilyn Manson.
Buddies with Dennis.
Yeah, he tried to get him a record deal. And, one of the Beach Boys, I don't know if it was Brian, didn't like him.
Who knows? Charles Manson sang.
Well, we did know that.
Did we?
In fact, I thought that had a lot to do with him going to the house to kill whoever.
Really?
Because I think they went to the wrong house or something.
Okay.
And,
Huh.
maybe not. Maybe
I don't
maybe it was the
remember
right
full
house.
details.
But yeah, so because he was trying to get a record deal, the producer wasn't going to do it, so they were going to
Right.
kill the guy because he couldn't get it.
Okay.
His
But anyways,
record
back to what I was saying. Wilson Phillips, we mentioned. Did you know John Phillips of the Mamas and the Papas
Okay.
co-wrote Kokomo?
Oh no, I didn't know. that.
Yep. So they did know each other. And then they had previously done California Dreamin', a remake, which was Mamas and the Papas song.
Which I've heard on American Idol.
Oh, and I forgot one more TV show, Home Improvement, we knew Tim Allen's character like the Beach Boys because he did mention on that show that his favorite song was Little Deuce Coupe because he was a car guy.
Okay, so also that's probably why he named his neighbor Wilson.
Oh, and his coworker was Al.
Okay.
Because Al Jardine is one of the guys. It's all connected. Yeah, so, and then, by the way, Mike Love. Don't know if you knew this. I thought it was a very neat fact. He is the uncle of Kevin Love. And if you don't know who Kevin Love is, he's one of the three main guys that won the Cleveland Cavaliers a championship.
Okay.
LeBron, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love. And Mike's his uncle.
The only reason we're mentioning that is because we live in Ohio.
And as far as I can tell, they only ever made one movie amongst all of them. Dennis played a mechanic in a movie called Two Lane Blacktop. Have you ever seen
Nope,
it?
never heard of it.
It's from the 70s. That's all I know. I don't know that I've seen it.
I've never heard of it. So have you?
No. Now, is there any other bands that do surfer music? Obviously, they remade Wipeout.
Yeah.
That band was called Surfaris.
Maybe.
I think so. And so they did a remake with the Fat Boys. That band was popular.
That's probably why that song went higher than it would.
And that was one year.
If they did not collaborate with the Fat Boys, it probably wouldn't have went as high.
Kokomo, you mean?
No,
Wipeout. Oh, okay. Kokomo came 1 year after
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So technically, is the Wipeout their comeback?
And Kokomo surprised the Beach Boys. They didn't think it was going to do that well.
Yeah. So in the 70s, you know what? I can think of a couple where I thought they were related to surfing. Sean Cassidy and Leif Garrett.
Okay.
The Do Run Run.
Yeah, which our
Surfing
sister
song.
had that album.
But I mean, it sounds like surfing music, right? Yes. And Brian was a schizo. Did you know that? He had mental issues and he had multiple personalities.
Yeah,
Did not know.
they have a sad story. They
are
going
yes.
into bankruptcy, and after all their hits, they had there was a lull in their career. So.
Right, and one of them was homeless.
Yeah.
Carl was a draft dodger.
Yeah, sad story.
And somehow that was the band that hung on when the Beatles came over.
Yeah, well,
The British invasion.
they said they considered Beatles their competition. I'm like, were they though?
Yeah. That,
When I say
No,
that,
not
I
really.
mean what I mean by that is, are the Beach Boys even competing with the Beatles? I mean,
no, they're not. But if you know what, you got to give the Beach Boys longevity over them.
Yeah.
Except for the solo careers.
Yeah.
Would the Beach Boys have done good if any of them went solo? Maybe some of them went solo.
Some of them did. Some of them actually did have solo
Did
albums.
they do good?
No.
All right. One more question. Which album would you buy?
Cocktail.
Right. Well, you know what? I would say the album called Still Cruising
Okay.
because it has Kokomo
Okay.
and Wipeout.
All right.
And we're 80s people,
Yeah.
so there you go. All right, let's go ahead and get to our
Top 10. I wouldn't buy it now because I'm not really a big fan. Really.
That's why they weren't in our top 100. And yeah, thank goodness for Kokomo because
I'm a bigger fan of Simon and Garfunkel.
we wouldn't do the Beach Boys if they didn't have Kokomo, right?
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay. So, and they had 4 number ones. Believe it or not. Maybe they all made. I bet they all made our list. Okay. Honorable mentions. I have 1. You have 2. My honorable mention was Surfin' Safari. I think that's that Mike Love that sings it, and low voice, but it's the first one of theirs when I went through the list that I recognized, and that got them on the charts, I think. And yours, Get You Back, and Still Cruising. Obviously, Still Cruising is the album title of that one. So
Right.
there's 3 songs you would know on that album.
Okay.
So that would be the one you probably would get to.
I didn't know the song.
Although Cocktail does have
I
a
didn't.
lot of hits.
I didn't know the songs though. But when I went through your list that you gave us to rank, and I listened to them, I'm like, these are pretty good songs. I didn't know them, but I thought they were pretty good. So that's why they're on my list.
Yeah. The only other one I liked that I didn't recognize before was Do It Again. Not the Steely Dan song. By the way, I'll give you one reason not to buy the Cocktail album. Don't worry, be happy.
Oh.
Okay, you Get Your Back and Still Cruising was yours. Okay. Our number 10 coming from Beach Boys Party. You'd think more of their music would be like in the Annette Funicello.
Beach blanket bingo.
But this number 10 was Barbara Ann. And I like the beginning. Ba 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 ba. And
Yeah.
the song, the parody song turns it in bom 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 bom. Okay, I had it at 8. You had it at 14, so you did not like it.
Yeah.
But it's recognizable.
Yeah, yeah,
Because they
I
keep
knew
doing
it.
that, it separates from the other songs, because none of the other songs go ba ba ba. Okay. Number 9, coming from Still Cruising. My number 13, so I don't like it as much. Your number 8, collaboration, Wipeout. Now the original song is Wipe Out, 2 words. They combined theirs to make it.
Yeah, and
Wipe
also, okay, so the Fat Boys add lyrics that are obviously there was no lyrics in the original, it was
Right.
just an instrumental.
Yes.
And they would show waves, and you know, every time when I hear Wipeout, I think of Hawaii Five-O, even though that's its own song.
Yes. I
I
can see how you do that. Yes. Have you ever tried playing those drums?
No, I think we saw somebody do it. I think we went to a park one time and saw a cover band
Okay.
do Wipeout.
Yeah, I've tried
So
the drum.
yeah,
part.
it's
hard.
really fast.
It is hard. Okay, number 8, coming from Summer Days and something. I didn't write down the whole title. They had 29 studio albums.
Yeah.
I'm not putting them all up.
Yeah,
there.
that's why it's just as big.
My number 5, your number 15, and it's Help Me Rhonda. Rhonda's not a very popular name nowadays.
No,
We went
no.
to school with one Rhonda though, and I worked with.
There was a
Rhonda.
show called Rhoda. Was there a show called
Rhonda. No, there wasn't a Rhonda.
Okay, I know it was Rhoda. I didn't know if there was
Yes.
Rhonda. Yeah, Rhonda. You don't hear Rhonda anymore.
No,
But
but Rhonda's supposed to help. This
get her
person.
out of my heart.
Yes, so he's obviously still thinking about his ex-girlfriend, and Rhonda, get to it. Do your job. Number 7, coming from the same album. My number 9, your number 6, California Girls, and it never hit number 1. You would think, as popular as it got, it'd be a number 1 song, but it never hit number 1. And if you listen to theirs and David Lee Roth's, you're definitely thinking David Lee Roth's is better.
Yes,
Yes.
I think we talked about David Lee Roth's video because we did his list way a couple years ago. But the models were, and we were wondering how they kept from laughing in the video
Maybe.
because they just had to stand there while David's
Yes. And then Katy Perry took the title and changed the I in
To
girls
you.
to a U. Maybe she thought that's really how you spelled it. I don't know.
Probably.
All right, number 6, coming from Shut Down Volume 2. Fun fact, there's not a Volume 1. And that's my number 6, your number 5, and it is Fun, Fun, Fun.
Till the day.
Did you call that?
Did you
Close
go
enough.
read any of the lyrics to all the songs?
No.
I did. I went to every song. I read the lyrics.
Something about
like,
giving a car away or something.
Well, it said, "We'll have fun, fun, fun till your daddy takes the T-bird away."
Oh yeah.
But after that, it said stuff like, "We'll have fun, fun, fun since your daddy took the T-bird away." So can't go anywhere. So what's the other things to do?
Contradictory statements, right?
No, it's saying what you think it's saying.
Oh, okay.
Can't go anywhere. So what will you do
I
now?
gotcha. All right, number 5, coming from Pet Sounds, which some people consider their best album ever.
Right.
My number 7, your number 4. It's "Wouldn't It Be Nice." I do not like the start of this song, even though it's the most popular played on Spotify.
Yeah.
But yeah, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if some of these songs didn't sound alike? Number 4, coming from All Summer Long. See, that's the thing. When you make yourself the Beach Boys, you limit yourself in the title albums. You have to. It's the same thing.
Brian was, when he was writing songs, he was trying to experiment and go out of.
Yes, he was. Yep.
That's when they stopped making hits.
My number 4, your number 7. It's "I Get Around." Now, again, is that a vehicle thing? I got a car, I get around.
Well, okay, he says, "Round, round, get around, I get around." Isn't round and around two way different things? They all
They're
mean the
different
same
things.
thing.
Yeah, but people do say. People do turn it to round for some reason.
Yeah.
Laziness. Can't say the whole word. Take that A off of that word. Yes. But "I Get Around" has several meanings. But I think they're going for the vehicle.
Yeah,
answer.
they had a lot of songs where they did that, where they're like, look at what Lil Deuce Scoop, if it's coming up on our list right now. But yeah, talking about, look at this car, look at the car I got. This can get all the babes. We can go faster than you.
All right, number 3, coming from the same album title as the song, "Surfin' USA." Both of us put this at number 3. Probably their first number 1. So
This song is talking about how if there was beaches everywhere, everyone will be surfing. That's pretty much what they're saying. Because they say a lot of places in the lyrics, or the verses, that don't have beaches. I think Manhattan's one of them. Like, so they're saying if everybody that lives in this place had a beach, they'd be surfing.
not everybody can surf. I don't surf. Would you
No,
surf?
I don't surf. I don't know.
Yeah, it takes a certain talent.
No, but I just saw a TikTok clip. It was on TikTok, but it's from 50s, 60s, whatever, of the Batman series where the Batman and the Joker competed surfing. It was ridiculous. It was.
Yes. Well, that was called a campy.
Yeah, it was. It was.
They didn't take themselves seriously, for sure. Number 2, coming from Smiley Smile. They wanted to release Smile.
Yeah, that was Brian Wilson. Was it his solo album?
Maybe.
And he canned
The
it.
most popular album that never got released, although it did have bootleg copies.
Yeah.
But it's "Good Vibrations." Both of us put this at number 2.
Is that instrument that I don't know what it's called, that you don't touch, you get really close, it goes, it's
I
like
don't
a Halloween, you know what?
It's on a lot of.
A I don't know.
Yes,
what
yes,
Theremin?
Theremin, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? That is used in space movies from the 50s.
Yeah.
You know, here comes a spaceship. It's like,
Or maybe it was Lost in Space, maybe
Maybe.
his theme.
it's either that or when you play a saw, you know how you bend a saw and it makes
Yeah.
that sound?
But I just wonder if that, at the end, that instrumental solo, it's not a guitar solo.
Well,
So,
let me just
what do you-
tell you, that saw sound is what did not let me put it at number 1.
You hate that sound.
It is one of their longer songs too. So, "Good Vibrations." You know, I guess it's good vibes, man. I'm guessing that's what mine.
Good vibrations.
Okay, number 1. If you haven't noticed, we're 80s music twin ranked, so the 80s song gets number 1.
Yeah, of course.
From 1988, both of us put it at number 1. From "Still Cruisin' / Cocktail," it's "Kokomo."
Of course.
Yes. Come on. If it really existed, that would be a popular destination. Do you like the movie Cocktail?
I saw it once,
Yeah.
and the only thing I remember about it is, you know, them being behind the bar
And flipping.
flipping glasses.
Does anybody do that still?
Yeah.
That's
I
what
tell you, here's your paycheck. Why is it so low? Well, we had to take all the,
Yeah,
for all the broken glasses you have there.
I made $3 because
Oops.
try that again. So, my guess is he did that by himself. Tom
Yeah.
Cruise does all his own stunts,
Yeah.
so he did that. All right, so that's our 10 for the Beach Boys. You agree? Who cares? All right, who are we doing next? We're gonna go back to the 70s, right? Somebody who's more known in the 70s, but still came back in the 80s. They even won a Grammy
Yeah.
in the 80s. So that's our next one. That's the only hint.
And there was a song about water, sort of.
Sort of. Sure, why not? All right, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.